And the Azure Tree's appearance is definitely spooky. We can't let it stop us from doing what we have to do. We need to recenter our efforts on the spirit shrines, gather up all the students that are still waiting out there. And if we're lucky, that'll help soothe the minds of some of the Erebonians who are freaking out about it too. In other words, let's just keep on doing what we do best. Our only option now is to keep doing what we do best. With any luck, that'll help alleviate some of the stress around the Azure Tree's appearance too. It's not alleviating any of my stress. I'm quite worried about the Azure Tree. Phew, I think I'm finally on top of all the inquiries coming in. But I can't believe how relaxed Vivi looks over there. I think she'd be at least a little stressed right now. I don't think that's a bad thing exactly. She does things at her own pace, but she's never let us down when it counts. Even if she does love screwing around most of the time. Oh, what's that? Who loves screwing around, Rean? Oh my, I should have known, you naughty boy. Vivi, how many times do I have to tell you not to play with the airship's intercom? She must be trying to keep her sister from getting too gloomy. Maybe she's just screwing with me. Both. I can't believe her. I'll have to go yell at her again later before she winds up in real trouble. Still, I can't deny that it's kind of nice having someone who's so cheerful around when I'm feeling anything but. I screwed up like a zillion times during that concert earlier, but Instructor Mary covered for me, so I don't think anybody noticed. She's so nice. It's the kind of woman Uncle Makarov needs in his life. The Kreutzer Provincial Army may have withdrawn from the war, but that doesn't mean we can let our guard down yet. Especially after Rufus barged his way into our transmission range like we left the front door open. I'll do whatever it takes to keep us out of contact with the Noble Alliance from now on. I'm sure we won't hear a peep. You've proven your piloting skills time and time again at this point. Nothing but faith in you. Someone knows how to give a compliment. In that case, young Mr. Schwarzer, allow me the pleasure of ferrying you to the remaining spirit shrines apace. The Courageous is really purring now, obeying my every command too. Should be able to get you to those leftover spirit shrines in a blink. In terms of the shrines, by the way, I'm thinking of, other than the Ignis shrine, just jumping to the door, rather than showing, like, me going through, avoiding all the monsters, picking up chests. Like, I'll still show the, puns. But other than that, it's like, yeah, I'll just jump straight to the end. Saves us a bit of time, and they're basically the same kind of thing over and over, aren't they? Like, you get the idea, we've seen one of them. And again, we'll see the Ignis one, so, you know. The Azure Tree thing is pretty nuts, huh? They're picking up readings from it all over the east side of the country, even in places that are really far from Crossbell. Shouldn't have to worry about it too much. Just stay focused on the shrines for now. Aye aye, Fee! That tree really is pretty, though. But Adele would flip if she saw it. She'd probably try and figure out a way to grow one in the Academy's flower beds. That's a bit much. Noble Alliance is really losing momentum here in the east. Not wiped out just yet, but we should have enough leeway to explore the shrines without too much worry. Hopefully, but who knows for how long. We've really got to get to work. Yep, just stay alert. I know you'll have Laura and Emma with you. But come see me if you need me. We shouldn't have to worry about the Alliance too much while we're exploring the shrines. If it hurts to give your head on a swivel, though. Anyway, if you need me to come with you, just let me know. I understand Toval's point about the tree's appearance being more of a help than a hindrance to Erebonia, but doesn't it seem far too convenient for it to appear just as the threat of an invasion from Calvert began to loom? Strange as it is, I think it really is just a coincidence. I don't think anything is a coincidence in this series. Let's leave Crossbell's problems to Crossbell. We should focus on doing what we can for the people here in Erebonia. A tree sprung up out of the blue. Who can say whether it could disappear just as suddenly? You do have a point. Wish you the best of luck with gathering enough Zemurian ore. It may not seem like it now, but doing that is an important step in securing a peaceful future for Erebonia. Can't deny it. Looking forward to seeing what form the finished blade takes. Just imagining the towering Valimar striking the same pose you do with your sword makes me excited. Well, here's hoping we can look cool enough to live up to the princess's expectations. You know, I've had a funny idea that I'm going to tell you now. You know we missed the Foggy Legram rounds. I have saves for that, so I am going to go back and do that. But I'm going to do it like as the Azure Tree stuff's happening when we play Azure. Like a meanwhile kind of part. It's going to be a Cold Steel meanwhile part at the Azure Tree segment. That seems like a funny idea. It's just that sort of like, meanwhile, the rounds over in Cold Steel. I don't know. It just seems funny to me, so I'm doing it. Emily's more excited than ever now that Therezia's with us too. Now all we need to do is find Ferris. It's probably easier said than done though, especially if she's still at the academy. Where are you, Ferris? Knowing her, she's probably fine. She has to be. Yeah, she's probably fine. Emily and I have been tweaking the settings of the combat shells together. Thanks to that, you're going to have a few new training exercises on offer. Do come and try them if you get the chance. They won't be easy, but I'm sure they'll benefit you in the long run. We'll have to get them a shot. I'll let Elisa and Elliot know too. Thank you. Anyway, when you want to try your hand at some high-level training, just come and let me know. There's nothing we can't do if we've got our friends working with us. So hope you're ready for our training to beat the hell out of you, Rean. But we wouldn't do it if you couldn't overcome it. I'm so happy that Emily and I are back together again. And now that I'm here, I should be able to make myself useful. That's more than I can say for my time at Berea Heart. It's wonderful to see Elisa again too. Just looked at how many edit points I'm up to right now. 171. Jeez, now that Therese is here, the training's gonna be harder than you ever imagined. Hope you're ready, Rean, because it's gonna get real intense. Oh, that's great. Yeah, 171. It'd be 172 now if I wasn't speaking right now. I'm doubly happy that we got to put on that concert. It was great to the people at Celtic for one, but on a more personal level. To make up for missing the summer concert. Times like these make me glad I picked up the violin in the first place. I swear, as soon as he was reunited with his gal pal, his skill level shot right up. Who'd have thought that puppy love was the secret sauce? Kinda makes me feel like all the training I put him through was a big waste of time. Nah, I prepped him. I did it! That's the way, nice work. Now that you worked off some of that rust, here for a quick sparring session with the combat shell? You bet. I've been reunited with Bridget. Got no time to waste. Gotta get as strong as I can so I can keep her out of harm's way. Still, if he's got something that works for him, that's all that matters. People don't get stronger if they don't... something... fighting for. What? People don't get stronger if they don't something worth fighting for. People don't get stronger if they don't have something worth fighting for. Family, country, girls, whatever it drives you. See, fixed it. Fixed it. I had a feeling this ship was gonna be cool, but damn! It's got more babes on board than any ship's got a right to, too! And they're all doing stuff they wouldn't do at the academy. It's a perfect blend of old and new. Had no idea Fidelio was here before you brought him to me either. I'm wishing I'd take you up on your offer earlier. Don't know if I've got enough photo quartz for all the pics I want to take. Oh no. The Azure Tree's scary, but there's really nothing we can do about it right now. Got our own problems to take care of right now. I'd like to keep helping out Kerlik however I can too. Just wondering if I could see it off in the distance somewhere. See, if I was Falcom, I'd have put it off in the distance regardless of where you were. Just a slight tree off in the distance. Just to remind you, that change sort of thing. Be cool. Let me know if there's anything more I can do to help out Kerlik. I'm doing anything I can. Aw, he's so nice, Elliot. The violent winds over eastern Erebonia are beginning to calm, but it feels as though it's just a momentary peace before a greater storm. What can we do in the face of that storm? Guess I'll have to figure that out before it's upon us. Feels like Erebonia is in the middle of the calm before a great storm, or a great battle, maybe. But we can see it coming, so we should take the time to figure out what we can do about it. I managed to tune to Radio Trista earlier, just for a little bit. They were broadcasting some news programs that replaced Abentime, and the sound quality was abysmal. But you know what? They actually talked about the courageous. Are you serious? Trista under Alliance control? And I thought the station would be too. Guess they're trying to get little bits of real news out every so often, even with whatever restrictions are on them. Yeah. Guess they're not rolling over becoming an Alliance mouthpiece just because they've lost Misty. This is no time to get all depressed. I need to exhibit the same sort of fortitude. They are, and help people. I was just wondering how I could do the help in his voice. Well, the voice I give him anyway. Even without Misty, it's nice to see Radio Trista struggling on. They're still fighting, I can too. I don't have time to get depressed. Indeed. Now that Farfra has been dealt with, we shouldn't need to worry about Brayhard for a while at least. Still need to give some thought as to what ought to be done here after the war, though. Right. This may sound strange coming from me, but don't overthink it. Put it out of your mind and just focus on the task at hand. Don't lose sight of the present by focusing too much on the past or on the future. I know. Don't need you to tell me that. Having father arrested is a burden off my shoulders if nothing else. Now all we can do is keep moving ahead. I'll say no more then. Seeing you all quiet and contemplative is like this is just strange. Spare me your cheek. It looks like Eustace is going to be just fine. Marquis is right though. You have to focus on the present. It's not going to be easy, but we need to work together and gather up the remaining Zemurian ore. If I can help with that, tell me. I'll do whatever it takes to help you beat Crow. I need to start thinking about the future of Brayhard eventually. Right now, the war is a more pressing matter, as is overcoming my brother. As long as you all stand with me, however, my blade will never falter. So please continue to lend me your aid. You seem to be doing a great job of running the shop, especially without any prior experience in running one. Just glad to hear you. Your home over in the west seems to be alright too. I've got every reason to think so anyway. Seems to have been lucky enough to avoid getting caught up in the war. No guarantees it'll stay that way, so still worry sometimes, but I can handle it. Still concerned about my hometown too, so I know how you feel. Still, now that we're here, we need to focus on our work. Don't want to be the weak link in the chain, you know? My family too proud of what I accomplished during the war. I'm sure you feel the same. Definitely. I'll be heading back to the bridge in a minute, but I want to help check up on Casper. Don't worry. I've already got our routes to the spirit shrines locked down. Things settling down in the Kreuzen and Norsha provinces. We shouldn't have any trouble getting close. Here's hoping the Zemurian ore gathering goes off without a hitch. Clients are right. I need to focus on doing my job on the courageous, the best of my ability for now. That's the best way to reunite with my family sooner, and the best way to make them proud. I'll be selling stuff I picked up on Artisan Street from here on out. I'll probably be on the buy side of things than the sell side, but what can you do? Some of the stuff's pretty rare too, so you might want to take a look. Let me congratulate you on your incredible work over at Oryx Thought. Truly masterful stuff. Becky isn't over what happened, obviously, but she's trying to act like it. First, it's a good sign she still has the energy. Still, with Brayhard liberated, you know the Alliance will be doubling down to make sure they don't lose anywhere else. Meanwhile, I'm studying over what might be going on at our head branch in Heimdall. I'll just have to believe in Bills. That's the most logical thing to do. In times like these, keeping your head screwed on straight is a must. I'd be surprised if there was some trouble brewing in the capital office, but that's a matter for Bills. It's not logical to worry about things we can't control. In a war like this, logic is our best and only friend. Cheers for everything, you lot. This will not change what happened to Kerlik, but Otto should be able to rest in peace now. Now we just need to focus on doing everything we can from here on out, too. Right, that's enough sentimentality for a lifetime. Becky's back in action starting now. No time to be sentimental when we still got stuff we need to do. Get ready, troops, because Becky's back in action. Yes. With Brayhard freshly liberated, you can feel how the war situation has changed over the past few weeks. Obviously, a big part of that is due to all the amazing stuff you've done with your class. I guess I might have helped a little too. Suppose I'll just need to keep on doing what I'm doing. Guys, have really changed this country for the better. I like to flatter myself and say I helped out with that too, a little bit. But try to keep that up. Oh, you did help, even if it's moral support or anything like that. I'm glad we managed to defeat that Nosferatu, but it seems rash to say that Legram's problems are over. Still, for the time being, I believe the town should be alright, which allows us to focus on conquering the remaining shrines. While there's no guarantee this spells the end of Legram's problems, the town should be safe for the time being. which frees up to focus on conquering the remaining shrines. That trade thing is looking pretty nuts. Should keep the Republic busy for a while, but that doesn't mean all of our problems are solved. With a coward out of the picture, it feels like this war is just about ready to hit its peak. Let's try to ignore that for now and find ourselves some Zemurian ore. Leave the war declared and the army for now. Got ore to collect. Why won't this cure reach the ball? I do wonder. Yes, I've got more, but I'll be doing that in between the parts this time. It's Blade, save us some time, etc. You know how it works. Thank you all very much for helping me with my idea back in Keldic. I will never forget your kindness. Seriously, think nothing of it. We're grateful that you came up with something we could do to help. Speaking of, does this mean you'll be looking after the infirmary here now? That's the plan, yes. Given how much I learned about medicine while I was in Keldic, it only made sense. So if any of you ever need medical treatment, you should be in good hands, I hope. I'll make sure to have a lot of potent medicine ready for you. Thanks. It's great to see her smile again. I plan on making use of the medicine-making skills I picked up in Keldic here. So if any of you ever need a medical treatment, I'll be happy to tend to you. Nothing else, you can be sure I'll have plenty of strong medicine on hand. When will we be able to go home to Trista? We've even liberated Breahard now. Surely it can't be much longer before we plan on heading over there. I know how you feel, but it's too risky right now. Just hang in there a little while longer, Margarita. Or must I? This weight is killing me. I desire to be united with my Vincent burns hotter by the day. If I have to wait much longer, I fear it will grow too great for me to control. All of a sudden, I feel incredibly motivated to get back to Trista. I know when we'll be able to go home to Trista. If I have to wait any longer, I fear I may be consumed by this fiery longing that burns within my pure maiden's heart. Right. Found some fascinating reading material for me, have you? You bet. Here you go. Much obliged. I'll start in right away. Phew, I think that's about as much as I'm going to get out of that. Thank you very much. I'll be sure to read over this when I get a chance. Well, you've given me a copy of all 5 books now. Just tracking down the set is quite an achievement. Or 5? Oh, did I not mention this before? In total, 5 volumes of the Black Records are known to exist. Pretty sure I would have remembered that if you said it before. My apologies then. I should have told you earlier. Hope you didn't spend too long trying to track down a 6th. There may well be one, known to even the most learned scholars, but these 5 are all you're likely to turn up. Either way, thank you for bringing me all of these. I'm going to keep working to see if I can decode the rest of them. May take some time, but don't give up hope. There may well come a day when you can read the contents in their entirety. Good luck with that, instructor. I'll be looking forward to it. Oh, please do. One more thing before you go. I'd like you to have this, just a little something in thanks for all of these fascinating books. Oh, thank you. I'll sell that. But thanks. Maybe. The Azure Tree is quite the mind-boggling phenomena, if I do say so myself. That nation has a richer store of ancient legends than most others on the continent, but none say anything about that tree. I find myself wondering if it has some relation to an artifact or even one of the Septarians. Whatever it is, it's spectacular enough to send my curiosity blazing into overdrive. I simply have to know more. I'd love to investigate the Azure Tree from close up to see what I could learn about it. So would I. The more I think about it, the more I want to unravel its mysteries. Yes indeed, I agree. Vehemently. Thought I could turn my skill from pen towards an essay about my experiences during the war. Not really working though. Don't think I've ever had writer's block this bad before. You're not exactly an essayist, right? Stories are your forte, why not stick to what you're good at? It's not like a dry old essay is the only way to tell people about life during a civil war. Now that's an idea. I'll start brainstorming. Maybe I'll even be able to find a way to slip some handsome young men into it. Yeah, that'll really drive the whole original message you're shooting for home. Fidelio does have a point. As long as there's a message to be conveyed, it doesn't matter how you get it out. People will hear it. Oh, now my head's bursting with all sorts of unspeakable ideas. I am so afraid right now. Indeed. Indeed. Curry! Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Manly munches. Does me good to have Rex on the Courageous with us. You can tell how much this war has matured him too. George asked if I could analyze some Zemirian ore for him, but I don't really fancy my chances of finding anything new. At least I haven't so far. It's fascinating though. Nothing I've ever seen before. Oh, here we go. Welcome, young one, to my room of fortune. Come closer, if you dare see what your fate has in store for you. Hold on a second. Where did all this even come from? Did you set this whole thing up on your own? Oh, there's no need to worry. I received permission. With war raging around us, there's no shortage of students whose hearts need guidance. I'm here to provide it to them. Okay. But a person signs off on something like, well, this. If there's something you don't believe or understand about my explanation, simply attribute this to fate. Should you ever find yourself lost in swirling void and in need of my guidance, please do come and visit. I'd be happy to offer my services, perhaps. Be interested in knowing your compatibility with your companions. The Great Knight, having received a worthy blade of Zemirian ore, will once again become a living legend. Said blade will become the inspiration for those who wear the crest of the Horned Lion as it cuts down all in its path. So I have foreseen, but the future is not always set in stone. Who knows how things might play out? Curious about your compatibility with your companions, are you? Very well. 2 elements go into your compatibility. First element is your bond with the other person, which gradually builds over time. Second is whether you have had a fateful moment with them that will allow your relationship to advance. I believe you've had the chance to experience these sorts of moments very recently, in fact. Let's take a look at how you're faring. Companions with whom your bond is developed and you share a fateful moment with are Alfred, Elisa Reinford, Elliot Cray, Laura, Macias, Emma, Eustace, She, Gaius, Million, Sarah, Toa, Alfin, Rize, or no. That is all. That is all. Jeez. You will have the chance to develop your relationship with one and only one of them soon. Oh, but who will you choose? Toa. No, the curse of popularity. Next are your companions you've experienced a fateful moment with, but with whom your bond is insufficiently developed. Oh, no one at all. That's unfortunate. Finally, the names of those with whom you developed a strong bond, but have not experienced a fateful moment with. Oh, no one at all. Oh, that's all I can tell you. Maybe your fate is not set in stone, but you're the only one who can influence it. Good luck. Rean, can I possibly ask you for a favor? Nope, no asking allowed. I'm kidding, of course, you can. He jokes? Thank you. It's about Alan, actually. That's my joke, Rean. You're not allowed to steal that. As I'm sure you know, he's done a lot for me since we first started dating. I want to show him just how much I appreciate that. It's really nice of you. Got anything in mind? Well, yes. Thinking of cooking for him. All the housework I did in Berea helped boost my confidence in the kitchen. So I'd like to surprise him with a really special homemade meal. I have a feeling he'd like that. I can see him jumping for joy already. And you should being absolutely no idea what I should make him. That's where you come in. Could you bring me some dishes that you consider unique that I can sample? You wouldn't have to do this right away, of course. Just whenever you're free. If that's all you need, then sure. If I see or taste anything particularly unique, I'll bring it straight to you. Thank you. It's a big help. Let's see about that at least once. This looks delicious. It's like you knew just what I was hoping to see. Thank you so much for all of your help, Rean. Lovely. I wonder how many times I could thank you. Doesn't seem enough for all of the preparation you did for our performance. Didn't think I'd even see a piano again before this war was over. It's like a dream come true. But in my dream, Adam would have been there to hear it, but I'm sure I'll be able to play for him again someday soon. The Crossbell Guild branch is pretty well staffed with high-ranking bracers, but might have their work cut out for them this time. The Azure Tree looks like it's going to be a dangerous place for even fighters of their caliber. What I hear, they've got some good connections in the city's law enforcement branch, like they can count on to help the law enforcement, huh? Yep, over in Crossbell, they have a police force set up to handle that stuff instead of provincial armies and such. A couple of people from the police have made a real name for themselves in the past year, helped the guild out a lot. Anyway, right now, let's let the folks in Crossbell worry about themselves. Got your own work to take care of. Suppose you're right. Still haven't finished our push into the spirit shrines for one. Those people she mentioned sound interesting. I'd like the chance to meet them someday. Yes, I bet you will. One of the nice things about all the developments over here in eastern Erebonia is that there aren't many Jaegers operating on this side of the country anymore. Don't have another run-in with the northern Jaegers either. Anyway, just focus on doing what you can for now. I'll give you a hand whenever I can. Of all the traveling you're doing, to make sure you're getting enough food to keep your strength up. Perhaps you could try one of those energizing cookies Margarita baked the other day. She said they're full of burning love. Will make you so vivacious that you can't even sleep at night. I'm good, thanks. I don't know what she put in there to achieve that effect. I'm pretty sure I don't want to. Can't do anything without energy, and you need to eat to get it. So of all the traveling you're doing, you'll have to make sure to eat right. My brother's been in Crossbell for a pretty long time now. Some of the people he went over there with have come back to the Lake Lord Company, but he's still out there. At least that's what we assume. Whoever's been able to get in touch with him since before the war broke out. I'll keep a check on that when I'm over there. Must be really worried, especially with the tree showing up out of nowhere. Nah, not really. He's tougher than you might think. I mean, he is going to inherit the company and all. Still, won't be surprised if he's made a home out of some lakeside cabin and is just fishing through the wall. Yeah. You two sound like brothers, alright. Pretty sure my brother's just chilling in Crossbell and fishing himself silly. Already say I'm worried about him. Do wonder what he's going to do about Annabelle, though. And they are supposed to get married and everything. We'll see about that, Now that everything in Breahard has been resolved, you finally get back to gathering Zemurian ore. Although, that tree over in Crossbell isn't exactly putting my mind at ease. Yeah. Still, that's a ways away. All we can do is focus on things here in Erebonia for now. We have to. That's right. We can gather ore for the rest of the shrines. We should have enough to make Valimar's touchy. I'd imagine the trials are about to get any easier, though. But if they don't, I'm sure we'll be able to handle them. Especially with you on our side. Counting on you. Thanks. The Azure Tree is pretty wired. But like you said, it's not our problem. Let's just get this fetch quest done before we start worrying about it. There's nothing we can do but keep working through the remaining shrines. I'll help you with them in whatever capacity I can. If you can get crystals about the same size as the first one from each of the 4 shrines, we'll be in business. Good luck with the whole trial part of your ore gathering. Once you finish all of those, it'll be time for me to flex my engineering muscles. You can get crystals about the same size as the first one from each of the 4 shrines, we'll be in business. Which means I better get ready to welcome Professor Schmidt aboard. You really set on this whole sword thing, right? Yeah, this piece is almost complete. Which means it's time for me to start thinking about my next one. You sure there's no spare Zemurian ore for me to work with right now? Positive. Like I was the last 100 times you asked. Yeah, would have made something amazing with it, but oh well. Guess I'll just focus on finishing this one for now. Reinforcing it with Zemurian ore allowed even a simple steel blade to gain immense power. This is likely due to the ore amplifying the mana within you. To create an armament made solely from high purity Zemurian ore, its power would be greater still. Yeah, I'll bet. And with that power comes the ability to protect far more than I ever could before. It's all the motivation I need to bring back more ore. I wait you're successfully overcoming the Spirit Shrine's trials. It's that idea of like, so the mana is going through the Zemurian ore. Interesting. Keep that in mind. Armaments made with pure Zemurian ore will be able to exhibit spectacular power. I await you overcoming the Spirit Shrine trials, Awakener. As do I. I see Eustace managed to settle things with his dad. Guess he's got more guts than I gave him credit for. We had him a bit wrong. Not that showing some spine makes up for his terrible cocky attitude. Still pretty bad. This is my rival in the riding club. There's no way I'm going to let him outdo me. That's why I've got to keep up the hard work and get better and better. Yeah, oh, there we go. Yes. In time. Don't worry, Whitcomb. Don't worry. Right, so that's us done with the rounds. So obviously, the statistics are... It's 2 hours, 45 minutes, 40, 41, 42, 43, and 197 edit points. This is going to take me a while to edit. We'll see you in the next part when we go off to the shrines, etc. Ta-ta for now.